Right here we have the coffee paraphernalia. This is the company here is called 8 Ounce Coffee Supply, and they're based in Calgary, Alberta. I found them to be very barista approved. So the supplies here is the Porlex Japanese grinder is what I use to grind the coffee, a hand grinder. And it makes a very nice fine ground coffee. And this is my, these are the usual, this is Hario products. It's called Hario. And this is the coffee filter papers, the V60 coffee filter papers that are perhaps the best. And this is what you want, the Hario coffee filters. Come in large packs of 100. Just get a whole bunch of these. And then the Hario drip filter. So I'll show you what we bought now. We're going to try to make some espresso with the Leverpresso. It's a portable Leverpresso espresso maker, and this is made in Korea. The Leverpresso is the first portable lever espresso maker, inspired by classical hand-operated lever machines. The Leverpresso allows you to make high-quality espresso using your own recipes. So it has 9 bar of pressure, and apparently, according to the barista-approved 8 ounce coffee supply, they say you need to have 9 bar. And here it is. Here's the 9 bar that you require. Standard 9 bar shot. It goes up to 9 bar and then down to 0. There's a 6 bar shot, and it takes 25 seconds according to this graph. Here's the Leverpresso. Let's get it out of its bag. Of course, you have to go for the mint color. It's got to be minty. Have a look at the Leverpresso. Very well designed. Extremely heavy in terms of its construction here. It's got some very detailed and high quality parts to it. Plastic here, but the whole functioning of this area seems almost overbuilt, in that it's very strong metal design. Stamped parts with what looks like 2 stainless steel bolts here and aluminum levers. Let's find out how to make this. There's 2 types. There's the high pressure sieve here, and then there's the low pressure or standard sieve, which is what I got, and that's common for espressos. Professional espresso makers will use this low pressure grid because they have very good control on their grind. So I will look at the instructions to find out how to operate this piece of machinery. How to clean, expert tips. How to change the O-ring piston. It looks just like a car engine. How to open. Medium coarse. It tells you the grind size. They do not suggest extra fine. They go to fine to coarse to fine here. So you take off the cap, and then you take off the bottom portion from the cylinder. You take out what they call the tamper and the cup, and then you fill the grinds into the basket. You put the basket into here and then push it through. So let's give that a try. Okay, we take this off here, and that is the sieve. That's the sieve portion, and here's the tamper to tamp the coffee grounds. It says remove sticker before use. There's a sticker in here. It's called the shower screen. It's the narrow side is top, the wide side is at the bottom. Ah, there's a shower screen in here. Narrow side is at the bottom. Now, why would you need a shower screen? So that is to prevent the coffee from getting into the grind area. That's to prevent the coffee from getting up here into the piston. And that would certainly destroy this part here. So this would go on here, and then that would screw in. So that would go in here, and this would go on here somehow, like this. Let's read the instructions and we can find out how to make this coffee. Okay, we're actually looking at very nice plastic pieces, very thick. This is definitely a high quality product and very well manufactured, extremely high tolerances here. So we're going to take the basket and place it in here. This basket will sit on top of the cup and it locks. So here we have the basket with the tamper. We're going to put coffee from the Porelex grinder, fine grind, into here. You can vary the amount of coffee in here. We don't want to spill it. That's definitely not going to work for sealing it. We've added the coffee there. Let's get the tamper pressed down firmly. They do recommend a certain pressure. I think it's 13 pounds, something like that. We have now pushed that in. There is a lip on there. Let's see how. So it's dense. It's quite dense. It's definitely pressed. From here, we have the cup, the sleeve, and the basket. We will now make sure that the screen is in there. Place this in here and screw it down. Let's make sure actually that we don't have any coffee coming out of there. Again. Is it intuitive? It is quite intuitive. Is it easy to do? Yeah. I think it is quite easy. Now we screw this down. Let's make sure let's make sure we've got everything here. Now we need hot water. I'll just get the hot water. Okay, I've decided to add a little bit more coffee in here so that it's filled. This little cup here is filled. So again, we're going to place it in the cup first, locked, and then we're going to screw it to the bottom. Put the arms down, add the water, ninety degrees water. Fill it up. And then we take the arm slowly upward. So I have a one-way valve there at the top of the piston. You can see the water starting to flow downwards. Pushing it down slowly. they do recommend not forcing it too quickly. Of course, with the cup, you can't actually see the espresso coming out of the bottom. And of course, that's perhaps the most satisfying thing. We don't see how the espresso is going to be made. 9 bar of pressure. I'm applying very little strength at all. Very little strength. You can hear a little bit of hissing at the end. And we have made our espresso. So let's have a look. Warm to the touch, it's not hot. Now this is going to be a question, and it was actually quite easy. There it is. That's your espresso. It doesn't have any crema on it at all. It looks like a dark coffee. So perhaps if I pushed it faster, it would have that cream on it. But let's give it a try. Here it is. Let's place it in a cup. I usually have an Americano. Americanos are cheap. That's why I have them. And they're better than regular coffee. Let's give this a try. Wow, that is pretty good. It tastes close to an Americano or an espresso. It really is quite good. There are some totally different flavors coming out of this coffee than when I put it through the filters. I actually taste flowers and really interesting notes that I'd never experienced through the coffee filters. So this is quite unique to me. Sour because it's a light roast, and it is quite interesting. It's not hot. Actually didn't heat up at all. I'm using this Bows and Arrows coffee from Vancouver Island. This one is the Kenyan Git Tomboko. It has vanilla wafer flavor, and orange blossom. So this was, of course, it's the grind. It's how you grind it, and how the coffee obviously it's got to be. I prefer light roast, so I'm using a light roast coffee here, Bows and Arrows. And this company that has these products here is 8-ounce coffee. They were actually quite nice to deal with. I recommend going there. And you pay Alberta tax, very, very low tax. So let me try it with some milk, and we'll see if it tastes similar to what I'm used to. There we go. We just added some milk to the espresso. It does quite a few shots. I think I should have had less shots or less water. Yeah, that is pretty good. It gives a completely different dynamic to coffee. Then it's not quite as creamy as what I would get at second cup. I think I have to perhaps dial it in a little bit better on the device. It didn't feel like it actually got up to that much pressure, so perhaps I was pushing it too slowly, and I should go a bit faster. No pressure gauge, obviously, and so does it go to 9 bar? It certainly would, but of course it depends on how fast you're pushing it down. So this is really interesting. I think quality design is fantastic. I'm always concerned with plastics, but in this case it just makes perfect sense. I think the whole thing is incredibly well made. In fact, it's the standard that you would expect from a European or Italian machine, in that it's way up there in quality. Way up there. Definitely don't see any problems at all. And this was recommended. So let's, I'll keep trying this over the next few weeks. We'll see if I can make a spectacular espresso.